Hello, everybody. This is one of our few games here on Dunsters and Dragons, run by Carol. And we're going to go ahead and start right in with our game today, which is a fairy tale game. And my happy little players are walking through the woods together. And in front of them, they see it kind of opens up a little bit, and as they're going along, they hear wolves howling kind of in the background. Woo! And they go around a corner in the trail, and what should they see but what looks to be a young girl in a red cloak or cape with a hood on it. So I'm going to say, what will you want to do?
I begin to sniff the air, and I look around. Hello?
She kind of startles and looks at you. Well, hello. Where did you all come from?
Where did you come from?
She holds up her basket. Oh, I'm on my way to grandmother's. She needs a little extra food and a treat. She's not feeling too well. But those wolves are scaring me.
A feeling I've read this story somewhere else before.
As she mentions this,
that'll be
fun. I lick my lips and I say, the wolves do sound like great food.
I don't think grandmother eats wolves. You look at her a little closely and you notice she's fairly small and slight and kind of pale skinned. And her eyes don't seem to be quite the same color as each other. What would she see if she looked at you, Midge?
Midge is just under 3.5 feet tall. Has a sort of a warm coppery brown skin, violet eyes, wild hair that you think maybe was white at one time, but has dyed at least half a dozen colors, all of them bright. Some of them you weren't even sure what they were. And wearing a heavy cloak to her mid-calf, or a heavy overcoat to her mid-calf that is also covered in embroidery in a similar variety of colors. And nearby hops a large magpie with blue and white feathers.
She looks at you and she goes, your magpie's blue and white? That's a little odd.
No odder than wandering the woods by yourself and full of wolves.
Well, I often go to grandmother's, but usually there aren't wolves quite so close around. It is a little disconcerting. And then she looks at Korth. And what does she see when she looks at Korth?
She sees fairly tall for her. He's 5 feet, about 2 inches high, and he's completely in the green scales all over his body. And he only has leather armor to cover up his bits and protect them somewhat. But his arms are free and his legs are out. But the most peculiar thing she notices of him is that he has a rapier and a lyre attached to his side. And his eyes are yellow and skirting about, looking through the surroundings, not really paying attention at her.
Does he have a tail?
Yes, sorry.
She goes, you're even more odd.
And what makes you say this?
I'm not used to seeing lizards walk like men and wearing armor.
Yes, I assume my people would call me weird for the armor as well.
Kind of looks at him. And she looks at the last member of the group. What does she see when she looks at you?
You would see a very tall figure, but you can't really see his face because he has a hood on, and he's, like silk, puffy silk wrapped around his body, and in some areas with thick leather boots and gauntlets and everything on him, and a shield strapped to his back and a sword as well. All that you can really see of his face is a greenish nose and two amber eyes poking out from underneath the hood.
Hello there. Is there someone home?
And he just continues staring at her with nothing really in his eyes, no emotion showing.
She looks at them all again. They call me Little Red Riding Hood. What are your names?
My name is... She stops a second. You can call me Midge. And this is Vaughn, points at the magpie.
You're certainly colorful.
And I am Korth Mirik.
I'm pleased to meet you, Korth.
And he nods his head.
And does the other one answer with his name?
Raylan kind of whispers, but then slowly speaks up. My name is Raylan Woodbreaker.
Yes, I'm really quite nervous about all these wolves. And you hear another one kind of howl in the distance. Would you be willing maybe to escort me to grandmother's?
Sounds like great fun.
And I turn to Midge as she says that. But she cannot defend herself.
Midge kind of dances and skips in place a little bit. Oh, come on, it'll be fun.
Yes, the fun, yes.
Raylan thinks about it for a moment. Well, to get you out of these woods, I will help you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And she starts out along the path, and you see her kind of looking off in the bushes here and there to see if, not like going off the path, but just looking along the path and saying, oh, look, here's a really nice herb I can take. Grandma would like this. And taking out a pair of shears and clipping a few leaves of something to put in her basket as she goes.
As we walk, I silently start playing on my lyre, like a soft little tune for her.
And her eyes kind of look at you for a moment, then she starts sort of skipping along. Yes, this feels much safer.
Midge is keeping an eye out around her, but pretty much skips along the path very cheerfully.
Midge might hear some rustling in the bushes.
Raylan is behind them and not really falling behind, but he's slowly falling behind and catching back up quietly and watching the road and the bushes off to the side for any disturbance.
Am I able to hear this rustling as well?
I would imagine probably you would, yes.
I lift my tail up and point it kind of towards the bush so that way that Raylan can see it behind me. As I continue playing the lyre very silently still.
Raylan would be at first what is he doing? Oh, yes. And he goes over to the bush he pulls out his scimitar and starts brushing the leaves aside from the bush.
When he gets there, he doesn't actually really find anything. Unless, just nothing too terribly unusual. How good do you have, are you trained in perception?
Yes. and also training survival and all that stuff. So
You could do either a perception or survival roll to see if you notice anything unusual.
I rolled a 7. I don't think that will have much effect on something.
Yeah, you probably don't actually notice much.
Yeah. Thought not.
So then you hear another rustle, and this one is louder, and everybody notices it pretty easily. It's coming from in front of you off to the side of the trail, the left side of the trail.
Braylon would pull out his shield and, get ready into a battle stance, and just go in front of the girl and try to protect her, and, just watch all the sides. So.
And you see, without making any attempt to seem aggressive or anything, that a very large wolf kind of slinks into the trail in front of you. It's kind of paler than a normal wolf, and it's really quite large.
Midge stops and looks at the wolf. Does it appear to be a natural wolf?
It's unusual, but not in appearance, not unnatural. It's just a little different. And it kind of says in its growly voice, "Red, I see you have some friends." And Red's like, "Well, yes, what of it? You've been harassing me too much lately. I don't feel comfortable." "You need to leave me alone." And the wolf looks at the adventurers. "You'd better be careful. She may not be what she seems." And Red's like, "Stop! You're a liar. You're always troubling me. You need to go away. I will not be harassed by you."
Midge laughs at the statement of the wolf and says, "Is anyone who they seem?"
"I don't know, little one. You seem a little strange." "But right for dinner, huh?"
That wouldn't be any fun.
"Not for you." I looked at the others. Does Raylan have anything to say?
Well, he likes animals, but he can tell this one is not really likable. So he'll just slowly advance towards it, trying to either, if it attacks, he'll be ready, or he'll try to push it back off the trail. So.
What about Korth?
Korth kind of just sizes him up and down and says, "So you've chosen to pick on the small ones, but not the green one."
"Oh, you've caused me no trouble."
Korth smiles and he says, "I wouldn't be too sure of that."
She teases us. She pesters us. I was like, "I don't pester you. You pester me. What are you talking about? Now go away and let me go to grandmother's." And the wolf kind of gives you all a look again. "You'll be sorry." And he just shakes his head and disappears back into the bushes.
As the wolf does so, Raylan would slowly back towards the girl and seize his weapons and shield, and look at her out of the corner of his eye, and with slight like suspicion and confusion at the same time, and he just rolls his eyes and slowly drifts behind again.
And when he looks at her, she'll give him a kind of a big smile. Thank you for being there.
Well, he seemed a little grouchy.
Oh,
I
he's
thought
often grouchy.
And I add in, I thought this was the fun, yes?
Well, you never know what you might run into in a walk in the woods. Finch says this very cheerfully.
So as you're going along, what order are you in?
You can go ahead, of course.
I believe if Wolf Raylan's in the back, I'd probably be in the front.
Well, that makes
And then
sense.
followed by Midge and Red in the middle. I don't know which order for them.
Maybe even side by side. They're not that big.
Yeah, probably side by side.
So, Korth, roll me a perception check.
Okay. It's a D20, right?
Yes, and you add your perception bonus to it, which if you don't have skill in it is
Oh
your
no.
bonus.
Let me see where the perception is for this. Oh boy. Oh, passive perception is 14, and I rolled a 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you get the passive if your roll's lower. Unless it's a
Thank
1,
God.
in which case you can have a little fun with it. So, yeah, with that passive, you know, you would still hear things moving in the bush. Maybe you'll hear some wolf howls a little ways off into the woods. The sky kind of actually clouds over a little bit, like maybe a little rain's going to come up.
I stopped playing my lyre for a bit, and I let out a huge sigh and say, "It reminds me of the swamp somewhat."
A little on the damp side for you, huh? Reminds you of the home ground?
Yes. And there's much green.
It's one of my favorite colors.
Then you must love me.
It just grins.
Oh yeah, if you guys want to put your AC in the chat too, that would be nice. I mean, I have your sheets, but it's simpler if I have it handy. See, and it has AC. I like that. Oh, 12 AC. Okay, fine.
I'll have to put them on the same line. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's only slightly confusing. You do have the feeling that maybe you're being watched here and there, but you're not really sure, and nothing comes out of the brush to speak with you again. So you're
As we continue our walk, I turn to look at the basket that Little Red has.
Hmm.
Is it covered, or can I see inside?
Um, there's a cloth kind of thrown over it. You can see a fair amount of what's in it.
What do I notice that's inside then?
Um, it looks like maybe you see some biscuits and some herbs and, the sort of stuff that Grandma would probably like.
At this point, I ask Little Red, are any of these flowers you find um, not used for eating?
Oh, yes, yes. These are to make Grandma's food better.
But are any of these, well, more sentimental?
Sentimental? No.
Hmm. And he turns away and keeps walking forward.
They're just food. They're nothing. Would you like to try some?
He turns back around. May I?
Well, well, of course. Here. She hands him actually. Would you like to try a biscuit too?
He opens his mouth and he says, biscuit. I believe they had these in the city.
I'm sure they would.
Yes, I would love to try it.
So she hands him a biscuit and a bundle of herbs, which probably includes some spring greens, arugula, maybe some basil leaves.
And she gives this all to me in one go. So then he attempts to fit everything inside his mouth and take a huge bite.
She looks at you. You know it's better manners to take small bites.
What's the point? It all goes down anyway.
I guess it's just considered polite. Other people may not want to watch you eat giant mouthfuls of food all at once.
And as she says this, he kind of lowers his head. He goes, ah, yes, the cultures and customs of people. Forgive me.
Oh, that's all right. I'm
It
gonna
was good,
take
though.
take a very quick break and let my dog out.
Go ahead.
I will be right back. You guys want to take a real quick break? Just a couple of minutes. Go right ahead.
I can't go anywhere. I have a cat in my lap.
You could always cut off your legs, for the cat.
Leave my lap here and then just go.
I want to have some food, but it seems like going upstairs is such a long journey.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. So unfortunate.
What do you want?
I'll have my servants take care of it.
What do you want?
Everyone else and turn my camera off.
All right, I'm back whenever you guys are. It's me and my character, my players, are skipping down the trail with Little Red Riding Hood. I guess I'll just wait.
I'm here.
That's a good start. And it's back. Dami, let us. Oh, there you are. You're back. Spiffy. Back. I'm on the right window. All right. Well, you go a little bit farther down the trail, and as you're carrying on conversations and having snacks out of grandmother's basket, I fear that Korth is not paying quite as much attention as he might. Roll me another perception check, and we'll see if maybe he is. For Korth.
I got a 3.
Plus your bonus, whatever it is. Wisdom bonus, it would be, if nothing else.
Is this for perception again?
Yeah.
Which my passive is a 14 is a thing.
Right.
My wisdom bonus is +2, so 5 in total then?
Okay. Well, in either case, since you didn't, it needed to be a little higher. So you're not paying quite the closest attention possible, and
I'm the freaking survival person.
that's okay. All of a sudden, the ground that you're walking down, just sort of disappears out from underneath you, and you're falling into a pit, a disguised pit.
Oh no.
Red leaps back. Oh no!
Midge comes up to the edge of the pit and looks down.
Raylan would run over.
What am I?
Raylan would run over and see if who fell into the pit again.
Korth did.
Korth, see if he can get Korth out. He has some.
The pit's about 10 feet deep.
He has some rope, so 60 feet long rope he can use.
Oh, I can help with this. You okay? Did you hurt yourself in the fall?
Did I take any damage?
Oh, probably not, actually.
And I look around and say, no, just dignity.
How big is the pit?
Brushing dirt off of me.
Oh, it's probably, it's a little wider than the trail. It's probably about 6 feet wide and maybe 10 feet long and about 10 feet deep. Maybe only about 6 feet long, actually. That's a big pit.
Midge looks at the around the edge of the pit and tells Korth, stand to one side.
And I walk over all the way to the right of it.
And she looks at the left side and kind of does a little motion with her hand and casts mold earth to move a 5-foot cube of the side of the pit into the bottom of the pit.
I look up at you and I'm like, I can simply climb out.
However, this does give you a nice ramp that you can simply walk out.
And climb out even easier now.
He looks down. Yes. Ingenuity, yes. And he starts to just crawl out easily.
And Red kind of laughs.
And Raylan would be there holding the rope still, and as he sees Korth, like climb out next to him, he's like, he looks back at the rope like, well, that was a waste of time. Now, we need to find out who has dug this hole.
You hear somebody sort of like crashing through the brush towards you. This rather large-sized man wearing sort of outdoorsy clothes. Well, hello. I'm Joe. I see that you fell into my pit, but who or what are you all? And why are you tromping on the game trails here? I was trying to catch a wild boar.
Raylan would say, well, we were here escorting this young lady to her grandmother's house. There's been a lot of wolves out. And we can freely walk in these woods if we please.
Well, yes, of course. I just didn't expect anyone. I expected not strangers. We rarely see strangers here. But this one, Red, she doesn't need anybody to help her.
Why would she not need anybody to help her?
They stay away from her pretty well.
Well, recently at least, there was a giant wolf that crossed our path and
Yes.
started talking to us.
Yes, the wolves. Well, they probably wouldn't bother Red, really. But Joe, they harass me all the time. What are you talking about? They do, huh? He just kind of gives her a look. You probably pestered them. Joe, what a mean thing to say. I'm going to talk to grandmother about you. Joe kind of he's kind of like, well, and it's like, well, if you move on, I'll reset my trap and see if I can get some boars.
Raylan is kind of suspicious now since two, one person and one wolf said that she harasses the wolves a lot. And she doesn't need protection on her own. He starts to get even more suspicious and slowly even drifts farther behind in the path. So, when he's thinking.
And I guess, does anyone else have anything to say or do here? Or anything to say to Joe before he leaves?
I'll go to have fun, and I mean it sincerely.
All right. I guess nobody has anything to say to Joe. And so does anyone else? Oh, okay. You continue on down the trail, I guess.
A little suspicious, but don't really have anything else to do at this point other than continue to escort Red.
You might actually, why don't you, Midge, give me a perception roll?
A total of 3.
Okay, well, that's not better than your standard perception, passive perception.
No, it is not.
And I guess you really don't notice much of anything at this particular point.
I would have to roll a lot to roll better than my passive perception. Since I don't get a bonus to my active perception.
Okay, of course. No, I'm not. No, not course. Raylan, roll me a passive perception. Now you've got me confused. Roll me a perception check.
18.
All right, then you would probably notice that when Vaughn gets the magpie, gets a little too close to Red, that she reaches out and tries to pull one of Vaughn's feathers.
And he says to Midget, Red over there is trying to pull one of your magpie's feather.
Did Vaughn notice?
No, Vaughn, that's what Vaughn didn't notice. Oh, Vaughn. I'm sorry. That's what Midge didn't notice. Vaughn just kind of hops out of the way.
Well, that's awfully rude.
Oh, but they're so pretty and unusual. Others. How could I not want to touch them?
Well, I don't think he likes having his feathers pulled.
Oh. All right. I'm sorry.
He might hold still a second and let you pet him if you would like.
Oh, no, don't bother. And you go continue on down the trail.
Midge shrugs and suggests to Vaughn to stay a little further away from Little Red. In their communication is familiar.
Communication is familiar? As a familiar?
Yeah, the telepathic communication they have.
Right, yeah.
As her familiar.
Okay. So,
How long have we been walking?
this way. Step, drag, step, drag. Anna got it. Walk this way.
I didn't get it.
I take it you haven't seen Young Frankenstein?
Well, I have. I just didn't like it. I don't remember most of it. So.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I assume you're still walking in the same order down the path. Maybe paying more attention to what's going on underfoot.
Yes.
And Red rather cheerfully says, "Oh, I think we're getting close to grandmother's." And you might notice as you approach, it's you're starting to see the occasional, more than usual spider webs throughout the forest.
Oh dear.
Spiderweb, you said?
Spider webs?
We're starting to see more spiderwebs, right?
Yes, and it's getting even darker. The clouds are getting heavier. The wind's starting to blow. It may even be starting to drip a little rain on you, kind of splatter, spat.
Upon noticing the spider webs, Midge starts looking very, very nervous and is not at all her usual cheerful self and is looking around quite concerned.
And your grandmother is near the spiders.
Oh, yes, I fear we may have to cut our way through. Sometimes they get a little carried away.
And you've made this path alone?
Well, they don't usually block the path. They've kind of like moved around a little bit. I don't know why. But we probably should hurry up and get there in case they're in case they're bothering Grandma though. I worry about her when I leave her alone during the day.
And
I
she...
don't.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I don't even have to see any spiders, and then they're bothering me.
Oh, really? Spiders are kind of cool, really. I kind of like them.
Spider's my favorite pet.
I can't do spiders.
For you guys' information, Spiders is his dog. He doesn't really have any idea what spiders are. So. First time he's going to meet them.
You don't eat spiders, do you? She looks at Korth.
Korth takes a second to think and he says, only when we need to. Or they're already dead. Or they're nearby.
He's better not have eaten my dog. He's going to lose something if he has.
Do you eat dogs?
He looks at Spider's one of the pets with us, yes?
No, that's his dog at his home. So.
Oh.
Oh, you didn't even bring him. Okay.
Then he looks at you and says, no, never had a dog. Doesn't really grow in the swamps.
I bet spiders do, though.
Yes, they do.
You know, as she's talking, the spiders' definite webs get a little bigger, and they're kind of like just over your heads, down over the trail. The trail is turning into more of a path. At least you probably don't have to worry about pit traps here. It's not so much a game trail. It's more of an actual path. You might even possibly be aware of movement up in the way up in the trees. Come along now. It'll be perfectly fine. So it gives you all this big grin.
Oh, I don't do spiders.
Oh, you don't have to do spiders. Just come on along to Grandmother's. We can have a nice treat when you get there.
If it's spiders, it'll be crunchy.
No, Grandma likes to cook. She makes cookies. Surely you like cookies, Midge.
Oh yes, cookies, but Midge just looks around quite nervously and is having a hard time taking any single step. Midge just looks around quite nervously and is having a hard time taking any single step.
I like spider cookies.
Midge just looks around quite nervously.
Dami, if you have the playback video on, be sure to turn the sound off on it so it doesn't come back when you talk. If you have the YouTube video thing running for the chat. I assume that might be why we would get that feedback. So as Midge is looking around nervously, she notices that actually there seems to be spiders making web, not giant spiders, but big spiders making webs behind them.
Behind us. Oh dear. Oh dear. She. Oh, I don't think my mic's not here. Might wait a sec till Mike comes back.
Yeah, and Red looks around. Oh my, that's not good. And she looks in front and oh my, that's not good either. As they start to get more spiders in front of them too. And it looks like possibly the path is going to be closed off in ahead and behind. This is confusing. I have too many windows. There we go. Nope. Yeah. Red kind of looks at looks at Raylan. Are you afraid of spiders, Raylan? I have them all about, but
Well, not really. I'm not really fond of the big ones though, but small ones are all right.
yeah, I often have small ones for pets. This looks a little ominous, though. Oh dear, I may have been wrong. So sorry, Midge.
Midge is looking around to see if there's any alternate route out of the situation.
Even as she looks, spiders are throwing webs across the path behind and in front of you, and the sides are pretty well closed up.
How far away are they?
Oh, about 30 feet behind and about 20 feet in front. Maybe 15 to 20 feet in front of you. But it's like, maybe we should hurry.
Is there anything flammable handy?
Besides spider webs?
Yeah.
I would think so. I mean, there's probably branches that fell along beside the path or something like that.
I'm going to grab a branch, something that would easily light fire and stay burning for a little while, and cast prestidigitation on it to light a small fire on it, and hold that in my hand.
As you go forward, you realize you're going to have to find a way through spider webs to get out of this sort of spider trap thing that's closed in around you. And as you go, it's still darker and rainier and windier. And what do you guys want to do? I guess you could go back if you wanted to go forward. Well, the spiders are weaving this trap around you as you go, basically.
Raylan's gonna start hacking through the webs and maybe sometimes catch a spider or something, but he's not really aiming to hurt the spiders because he likes animals. So
And he's continuing towards Grandma's house.
Yeah. Warily though, because he's kind of wondering, like, Little Red Riding Hood exactly who she says he is.
I aid him in like slashing at the webs as we make our way.
I shove my makeshift torch at them. Try to carefully avoid having any drape on me. Burn them with a torch instead.
Oh, in spite of your efforts, one of them hits you on the cheek. Just and good, it goes across your cheek as you're going.
I scream like a little girl. and dodge to the other side of Gorth when that happens.
You just leap behind me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
She just leaped behind me.
Oh,
and
okay.
I turned to her. Problem, hatchling?
Oh, the web it hit me. I don't like spiders.
The web is the least fearful thing.
Just about that time, since you've been slashing at the webs and disturbing them quite strongly, you do hear the sound. And I suspect you know what that means.
Raylan's like, I don't like big spiders. I suggest we get out of here really quickly. And he starts, hacking quicker and moving forward faster and faster. So he really doesn't like big spiders.
All right. Roll me. Let's see, I would think probably athletics or strength check, Raylan, to see if you can cut through these before the spider gets there.
$17.
Yeah, I think that's enough. So you're going to redouble your efforts, and I'm assuming that Korth is going to be right there with you, whacking away at things. Red's just kind of like she's kind of staying behind you guys and letting you do the work. She's like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. You guys have this. And actually, yeah, describe to me, describe to me, Raylan, how you managed to cut your way through the spider webs before the big nasty queen spider gets there.
His blade is like, a propeller going through this stuff. As he hears the spiders getting closer and closer, it just keeps on getting faster. And this is the first time you've kind of really seen him show like true emotion in his eyes. He's a little bit of fear. You always imagine him, like, was it not necessarily really tough, but yeah, brave when it comes to things, but not when it comes to giant spiders. So now that's okay. He gets through the spider webs and he just keeps on going, hacking himself like, retreat.
And I follow him in his order of retreat.
Midge is like this, huddled as close behind the taller people as she can.
And as Midge is huddling behind the taller people, she notices, and perhaps soon the others do too, that somehow Little Red's cape has turned green. And it quite matches the scale of Korth.
Wait, Little Red's?
Little Red's cape is now green.
Uh,
Although I don't know if you'll really notice that until you get out of the spider webs.
Raylan would be extremely suspicious now, and he's going to ask, "Why is your cloak green?"
My cloak is green? And she looks at it in utter astonishment. I'm assuming we've made it past the edge of the spider webs, out into the open path again. How's my cloak green? It can't be green.
Could I roll a sense motive check or something like that to see if she's lying or not?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Meanwhile, Midge collapses on the ground in relief, breathing heavily.
I rolled a 10.
As far as you can tell, she's genuinely astonished. She really doesn't know why her cloak is green. I mean, it's sort of an average amount of knowledge and understanding of red.
It doesn't really make him less suspicious, though.
That's fair.
After catching her breath, Midge says, "Well, that's quite a nice color."
Red looks at Midge. Did you have something to do with this?
I just think it's a nice color.
I liked red.
Midge calls Vaughn over, and his purple feathers shine in the sunlight.
Wasn't your magpie blue and white?
What are you talking about? Vaughn's always the color that he is.
But he was blue and white. Something is going on here.
Midge just shakes her head and pets Vaughn for a few minutes, ignores everybody else.
And then as they move on, you know, it's been kind of cold and windy and dark, and it's almost like a big storm is coming up. And Red is like, or maybe she's green now. It's like, oh, let's hurry on to grandmother's. I'm getting cold. I don't like this. I don't think green is as warm as red was. And she starts hurrying along even more so.
Is there anything else we can notice that's changed about her?
Nothing else has changed about red or possibly green. Except, you know, and then about that time you come to a corner in the path and it kind of opens up and you can see in front of you grandmother's cottage. Something you do notice about grandmother's cottage, which is highly unusual, and you don't need any fancy perception checks to see that it's made out of gingerbread. And then it has frosting around the cute little windows. They're made out of sugar glass.
Now, Raylan starting to remember stories from when he was a kid. Now he's getting more and more suspicious. He's like, I'm gonna wait outside while you guys go inside and, you know, investigate him, you know, help.
Investigate? We're having cookies. Come in. You wouldn't want to miss out on the gingerbread cookies, would you?
I can miss out on the gingerbread cookies. I'm watching my weight right now.
Well, you look pretty skinny to me, Mr. Elf.
It
I'll
looks
survive.
quite scrumptious.
Yes. Come along, dear Midge. Come along with your, what color is he now? Bird? And she's like, and you? You over there, Corth. I'm sure you will love gingerbread. Nothing is better than gingerbread. And as they approach the cottage, and she opens the door, she's like,
Midge is quite suspicious, but still follows.
okay.
Korth says that he's never tried ginger in the form of bread before.
Oh, it's spectacular. You're just absolutely going to love this. As she goes in, she actually grabs a little bite off the corner of the doorway to eat as she goes in. It's the very best. And she waves you all in. Now, who's actually going in then and who's not?
Raylan's gonna stay outside, and he's gonna slowly munch on the outside of the house and grab a couple handfuls here or there and eat it, and look like trying to hide it. And he's like, "No, I'm not eating anything. I told you I'm watching my diet. How dare you assume that I'm eating gingerbread?"
Red kind of rolls her eyes. Come in, and she waves the other two in.
Midge will not be the first one through the door.
Perfect.
So wait, nobody's entering?
Well, those two aren't. At least Mitch is not going to enter first.
And it's at this point, god damn it, Korth goes, "It is culture and tradition to enter, yes?" And I walk in.
And Red's like, yes, of course. You're invited in. That's the polite thing.
It's the polite thing, but not the right thing.
Well, I mean, as you walk in, you see this poor little old lady, standing in the kitchen, pulling a batch of gingerbread cookies out of the oven, and two plump little children, a boy and a girl, sitting on stools eating gingerbread cookies. And Red calls out, "Grandmother, grandmother, I'm so glad to see you. I brought friends. This is Korth," and she points at the big lizard, not so big lizard man.
I wave
And-
and say,
and-
"I hear you eat flowers."
And down at Midge. Well, you got to try the flowers. Did you like them?
And as this is happening, you see a hand pop into the side of the wall. Is like, "There's no more gingerbread." And he looks through the hole. And he looks at all of them, and he sees the old lady and the two plump children and Little Red Riding Hood. He's like, "Oh, fine, I'll come inside." And he goes inside.
Yes. And grandmother goes, yes, yes, today Hansel and Gretel have come to visit. They're enjoying the gingerbread cookies. They often come for cookies.
Midge bows to the children and to the old lady.
Hansel and Gretel pause and sort of stuff in their chubby little faces. Yes, yes, gingerbread. So good. Glad to meet you. Grab another bite. Kind of piggy looking little children.
So there's just these little kids eating like gingerbread in front of us.
Basically, yes, at this point, yes. And
I turn to the group and I say, "Well, we've brought the red here and we've had the fun."
Oh, it was mostly fun.
grandmother says, you're not going to leave, are you? That would be churlish of you. You ought to stay for a while. I haven't ever gotten to know gnomes and lizards and even elves, not like the children. I think they were going to stay too.
I turn to the group, confused.
Do you guys want to do anything? Check anything?
He's gonna check around the house.
All right. What are you looking for?
I think he was sent. At least he. Oh well, he's looking for missing children. It's inside, old lady's house.
All right. Yes, sorry to say that at the beginning of this thing, I forgot to mention they were on a mission to find some missing children. So, yes, by all means, do
Who happen to be the missing children?
Dami, do an investigation check to see if you can find any missing children around the house. And when he's done, Midge, you can do an insight, I guess, check to see if these are the missing children.
I rolled 18.
You don't find any other children around the house except for Hansel and Gretel. There were several missing in the original thing, not just 2.
So the continuous.
So, Midge, what did you get on your insight? I believe it was.
Do you want me to use insight or can I use investigation, which I'm proficient in?
Oh, use investigation by all means.
23.
Well, with 23 investigation, looking at them, you realize that they are not necessarily what they seem. That they are. Investigation finds out they're probably not the missing children. They're probably something else entirely, and it's time to roll initiative.
Do we all do it or one person?
Everybody rolls initiative for taking their turn in the fight.
And this is a D6.
That's a D20. All the basically your rolls are all D20s with modifiers. It would be plus your investigate, plus your Dex modifier. Oh my gosh.
It's fine. I'm sorry. I run on another system. I'm sorry.
That's no problem. I just
See. +1, so I have 13.
okay, cool. There's Midge, okay. All right. So as you do this sort of investigation, and Hansel and Gretel realize that you're actually really looking at them and examining them, all of a sudden things start to change on you. And you realize that actually they look an awful lot like goblins. With your abilities to perceive disguises and, illusions and things, it becomes evident pretty quickly to Midge that these are not fat little children. These are ugly little goblins instead. And as the realization that they've been found out appears, it would seem that Granny is something really, she sort of turns into something really horrible and nasty. And she's this really ugly creature with bits of bone and flesh hanging off her clothes, and she's really quite terrible. Red isn't perhaps a little girl either. She turns into something. She still pretty much keeps her form, but she looks somewhat terrifying instead of like an innocent little girl. And you guys realize that, yes, you have a serious problem. And the first one who's going to go is Raylan.
Well, as he sees this and he realizes he was deceived, he immediately gets really angry, and his amber eye color slowly, started to get bloodshot, and his eyes slowly turn a little red. And he pulls out his sword and shield. He growls, "You're gonna pay for this!" And he charges towards the witch, swinging his scimitar.
All right. And what is his what's his attack?
Um, 18.
An 18 will hit. So how much?
Um, 6 points of damage.
She goes, ouch, and gives you a very angry look. And Vaughn goes next. So what's the magpie going to do?
I was trying to double check what the action actually did because I'm not that familiar with it. He's going to stay out of the way, but ready in action to use the help action when, let's see, Raylan's already attacked. So when Korath attacks, he's going to use a help action to try to distract and give advantage on whoever Korath's attacking.
Alrighty. The next one to go is Granny. Let's see. She's going to attack Raylan. She's going to attack him with her horrible, nasty, big, long, sharp claws. And she is going to hit him. Oh my gosh. Dice are hiding. Sorry about this. She's going to do a total of 7 damage. So she's going to rip at him with those big old claws because he hurt her. And she's going to do 7 damage. I think that's going to be her turn. Next on the thing is going to be Midge. Oh, thanks, I got that, Dommy.
Midge has a very disapproving look on her face and says, "This was supposed to be fun." And she casts a spell on Little Red. Tasha's hideous laughter. She has to succeed on a wisdom saving throw or fall prone. Finding everything hilariously funny.
Wisdom saving throw. Okay. She's going to fail that. So, little red or possibly green.
Finds everything hilariously funny.
Yes, finds everything hilariously funny. It is fun! And she starts laughing so hard that she just falls over and is convulsing on the floor in laughter. She can hardly breathe. And that brings us to Korth.
So what's still up?
Well, Granny is barely scratched. Hansel and Gretel have not been touched, and Red's on the floor laughing so hard she can't breathe.
God, this is all weird.
It's supposed to be. That was the whole point.
So everything's surrounding us, right? Kind of, in a way.
I'm not quite sure. I would imagine you guys would be kind of clustered more towards the door, with Red closest to you, and then the other ones kind of more off in the middle of the hut. That's how I see it.
Okay. And who did Ray attack?
Raven attacked Granny. Did 9 points of damage.
He rushed the granny. And in this case, geez, I wouldn't know what to think of Red. Okay. So let me read this again. I'm sorry.
Okay. Take your time.
Please, I'm gonna use Shatter.
Oh, that's nice. Shatter can affect your companions.
I'm gonna aim it towards the Hansel and Gretel. And
Right.
can it possibly get within range of Granny or no?
How? Let me see.
It's in a sphere of 10 feet. A radius of 10 feet, sorry.
Radius? Okay. And how far away can you cast it from yourself?
From a point of your choice within range.
What's the range?
60 feet, wow.
Yes, you can definitely probably cast it on Granny and catch Hansel and Gretel.
Okay, and can I do that in a way without hitting Reynold, or would it hit him as well?
No, because if you put the point kind of behind Granny, because she's the farthest one away, then you can catch them in the 10-foot diameter and avoid your comrades.
So then I'm gonna go ahead and cast Shatter.
Oh,
on
hold
that.
it. Well, let me see. Hold it. I forgot. Ray's within that, isn't it? Because he went up to melee range.
Yes, that's why I asked.
It's gonna hit Ray unless you pull it back and skip Granny. If you hit Red, she'll be broken out of Tasha's hideous laughter.
Yeah,
But
so I don't want to hit her.
Ray will not care. He's in anger mode right now, so if you
Raging barbarians have to take their chances.
do,
He hasn't.
So then I'm gonna go ahead and cast it on all 4 of them.
You can do it, though. He'll just become angrier and do more damage.
Well, it will actually. It could hurt you, but
I have resistance to everything.
resistance is not immunity.
That's
But
good.
yeah, you'll take half damage, so it shouldn't. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, cast it, man.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cast it. So they all have a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. What is your spell saving DC?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Let me see if I can figure this out.
Okay. 8 plus. Oh crap. What is it?
Charisma for a bard, isn't it?
Yeah. Plus your charisma modifier plus 2.
So my charisma modifier is 2, plus 2 is 4.
Okay, so that's 12. They have to beat a 12.
Okay.
Is it
Well-
+2 for a bard? It was plus my wizard level for me.
Oh, wizard level? Oh, great.
No, sorry, no. I'm confused.
Proficiency, isn't it?
Plus proficiency plus my modifier for mine.
Yeah, 2 for proficiency, 2 for the modifier, so that gets him 12 total. I actually knew it.
I rolled 8. So
Okay,
I did it.
so you fail. Granny fails.
Is that before or after mods on?
Hansel and Gretel pass.
That's after the mods and everything.
Okay. 3d8 thunder damage for, well, half for you, Dommy. So roll the 3d8, and we'll see what the damage is, and then we'll half it for Hansel and Gretel, and Grandma's the only one that gets the whole thing. You might shatter the cookies too.
I mean,
Well, cookie crumbs everywhere.
yeah.
That'll make Raylan angry. Raylan will be angry now. Shatter the cookies.
What was this roll? What was roll 2d? What was it 3d8? What was the damage?
Do I roll that? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you roll that. It's your spell.
Okay. In that case, nope. This is an 8. Yes. So no, this is a 10. I'm bad at this. Okay, I got the 8. 6, 7, 5.
5, that's 12. Is that right?
12 plus 6, 18. Wait, 6.
What's
7.
the 6 you get to add to it?
I got 6, 7, 5, which is 18 total. 12 plus 6, yeah.
6, 7, 5 is only not 18 total.
Nope.
6 and 7. Oh no, you're right. That's why I said I couldn't add. 18 total. Okay, Granny, you lose 18 points. That was a good hit on her.
Jesus Christ.
But you know. Okay, and Hansel and Gretel get 9. We're little goblinoid creatures anyway. That actually kills Hansel and Gretel.
I'm sorry.
Tell me how you shattered these two innocent, nasty little goblins that were pretending to be cute, fat children.
So essentially, there's just a loud ringing noise that just rings in their ears, and as I'm assuming they were getting up from fooling us, you just see blood start to like drip from out of their ears, and they start shaking until they finally stop and just fall limp on the floor.
Ooh, great description. All right, that brings us to Red, who is laughing helplessly at this wonderful thing that's going on around her. It's the funniest thing ever. So at least somebody's having fun, Midge, and it's all your fault. She's kind of choking and gasping. And we will come back around then to Raylan.
So Raylan, he you know, the thing ringing in his ears just made him angrier, and especially since the cookies, you know, popped and everything on the sheet. Now he's really angry at the witch because he thinks she did it, so he's just swinging as fast as he can, as much as he can. He's like, I want cookies!
She like waves her old nasty claws at him.
Sadly, in his rage, he rolled a 12, and he was just trying to hit anything that, you know, would, you know, like go inwards if he hit it with the sword. So
Yeah, with a 12, I'm afraid he manages to slash a hole into the gingerbread wall.
gingerbread.
Possibly cutting off a chunk that he could then eat at some point. And Vaughn. Vaughn was supposed to help Korth, but Korth didn't really need help, fortunately. You're muted, hun.
Sorry, I said Korth didn't attack, so there was no help action.
Oh, that's true. He did a different thing.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not familiar with the what bards do.
Lots of
Oh,
things.
let's see. I think Vaughn is going to stay out of range behind me at this point. Just not get involved.
Sometimes that's the best move. Now it's grandmother's turn.
A bunch of loud, angry noises, but stays behind me.
I'm sure Vaughn's probably trying to hide his head under his wing.
Some of them sound like bird noises, and some of them sound like all kinds of strange things that he can imitate. But he's behind me.
So yes, Grandma's definitely, she's pretty angry about this noise. That hurt. It made her ears hurt. It made her head hurt. And she's just going to go after the closest thing, which happens to be, I think she's going to go ahead and claws at Rylan again. And
I did reckless attack, so you have advantage against me.
oh, okay. Did you take your advantage against her?
Yes.
Okay.
Instead of a 9, it was a 12. So
Sometimes it's not quite enough. Well, she hit you, so. Okay. Now I've gotten confused again. Okay. That's she does 9 points. 9 points worth of slashing damage, which of course for you is what? Is it 4 or 5?
5, you always take the highest.
Right. That's what I thought. So she does 5 points of slashing damage with these nasty, icky claws. Oh. Oh, okay. I won't retcon, but I will have to change something. She does have damage resistances, so next time she's hit, those will come into play and I'll remember them. And Midge. What cleverness are you going to come up with?
I am going to cast Phantasmal Force on Granny.
Okay.
I am going to make her think that I have just summoned a small dragon that's attacking her.
Okay. Does she get a save against that?
She can use her action to examine it with an intelligence investigation check against my spell save DC.
Okay. So you're going to summon your phantasmal dragon.
Yes. Oh wow, I didn't realize that to paste that so long. Yeah, if she examines the dragon, she has the possibility of realizing that it's a fake. Otherwise, it can do up to 1d6.
Oh, she makes an intelligence saving throw. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. Okay.
Okay.
That's all right. She's going to fail for all of her. I can't believe she failed that. She must be pretty distracted by having her head shattered.
So in her mind, there is a small pink dragon that's now attacking her with claws and fire. It can do 1d6 psychic damage. That's per turn. Let me see.
Yeah, I mean,
for the duration, for a minute. Yeah, each round on my turn, it can deal 1d6 psychic damage.
okay, well, roll your 1d6 then.
Okay.
Because she's not resistant to psychic damage either, so she gets the full
We just,
benefit.
we just lost Dommy.
There's
Does that do I have a modifier on that adds damage to it?
Probably.
Put it down.
That's all right.
No, it would stay if it did.
Okay. So that would be 1 damage.
Yeah, but it's cute. I'm going to give you a point of inspiration for casting a little pink dragon to attack her with. How could you possibly not enjoy a little pink dragon? All right, Midge just cast her little pink dragon. And we're going to go to Korth. What kind of trouble is Korth going to make?
So Red's still laughing, right?
Yes, Red's still laughing hilariously at the little pink dragon, I guess. And her dead goblin friends.
Nobody but Granny can see the dragon.
Oh, that's true. Red's just laughing because Granny's like freaking out and she can't figure it out. And her friends are dead.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to just head over to Granny and pull out my rapier and just slash at her.
All right.
I got a 13 with my to hit is 3. Attack bonus is 3.
13 plus 3 to hit.
Yeah, 16, sorry.
Okay. Unfortunately, that doesn't manage to get through her natural armor of old clothes with drippy bits of flesh and bones hanging off of them.
Yummy.
I'm surprised you haven't tried to grab her clothes and start eating them.
I might soon.
So that one didn't quite do it. Red, my friend, you're going to laugh helplessly on the floor. That goes for what, a minute, Anna? Isn't it 6 rounds?
A minute.
Oh, does she get to do a check against that? I better double check.
Yeah, she does a wisdom check on each turn, and if she takes damage.
Okay. Wisdom check for Red. What was your spell DC?
Sorry, I didn't save it right. It is 10 plus 14.
All right, she passes. So she finally, wises up a little bit on her turn, realizes that her goblin friends are dead, and pulls out of this helpless laughter. And that probably makes her a little bit unhappy with you. Probably makes her a little bit unhappy with everyone. And she's going to reach under her cloak, and she's going to pull out a scimitar. And she's going to go after you this time, Midge. She didn't really like being put into a laughing fit. It wasn't perhaps as much fun as it looked like. I'm just going to... see. All right, looks like she's going to hit you. Did you take shield for defense? Did you cast mage armor on yourself? Do you have it?
I have it.
Okay, well you can't do that as a reaction. So she is going to hit you for... Ooh, she's going to hit you for 7 points of slashing damage. That's just going to get to take another attack at you.
Ow.
But since that's at disadvantage, she's not going to hit you the second time. So she's going to slash you for 7 points, and then she's going to try to slash you again, but as she comes back, she misses. You're a little too dexterous for her. You managed to dodge out of the way because you kind of went, ah, that first time when it hurt. And that's Red's turn. We're back to the top of the order with Raylan.
I think I need to make a concentration check to see if I can keep up my phantasm spell.
Oh, yeah. If that's a concentration spell, you will.
Well, that was a 1, so I'm guessing I don't maintain my concentration on that spell.
No, I don't think your constitution is gonna get you through there. What's your but I think you add your constitution bonus to that, your roll.
Yeah, it's a
But
concentration.
I'm not sure what you check it against, but a 1's gonna fail anyway, obviously.
He is 10 or half the damage I took, whichever's greater.
Nope, that ain't gonna do it. So the pink dragon's gone bye-bye. And let me see. That was Red's turn. Oh, we're at the top of the order with Raylan again. Tommy? You're muted.
Oh, well, I'll try to swing this time again and hopefully hit. That's my plan. So
There's your reason.
It's always a good plan.
okay, let's see. 21
That will hit.
for 10 points of damage.
Nice. What kind of damage?
Slashing.
Slashing. She is resistant to slashage, so she'll take 5.
That's all that I have other than piercing and piercing. So
Yeah, well, yeah, she's resistant to basically to physical damage unless it's magical. Okay, so 5. She's starting to show some signs of wear here. She's definitely hurting here and there. She's not really bloody, but she's hurting. And we're going to go to Vaughn. Is Vaughn going to do anything or continue to do the sensible thing and stay out of the way?
Vaughn's going to continue to stay out of the way, and he's going to continue to make a variety of strange, potentially confusing noises. But he's just going to stay out of the way.
Good move for Vaughn. It seems good. Like it goes around really fast, but we only have 3 players, so I guess it does. We've gotten back to Granny. And let's see. Yes. Right as we start to get to Granny's turn, you hear a noise at the door, and the giant gray wolf that you had spoken to earlier comes bounding in. And he isn't really close enough to do anything right yet, but he's going to join the initiative order at the end. Granny's going to go ahead and cast. She's going to cast Magic Missile, and she's going to cast it on Raylan and Korth. 1 missile each. Oh, great. Half a second while I double check exactly what that does. Oh, that's 3 darts, excuse me. She's going to cast 2 of them at Raylan and 1 at Korth. That's what they're going to do. And it's 1d4. Everybody's going to get 4 points of damage. I'm going to be 8 points of damage for Raylin and 4 points for Korth.
It would be 8 or 4 points of damage for me as well because I have resistance to it as well.
Oh, okay. Cool.
How much damage again?
4 for you. So she waves her claws out at you and screeches some nasty sounding words, and 3 little darts of force come out, and 2 of them hit the elven barbarian, and 1 of them hits our lizard man for 4 points of force damage each. And she kind of chuckles because she knows she made you kind of jump a little. And we're back to mids.
So, all right. I'm trying to visualize the scene here because I'm thinking about
Okay.
using something that has a cone. So, I'm kind of behind Raylin and Korth,
Mm-hmm.
and Granny's on the far side of them from me.
Mm-hmm.
Where in relation to them is Red and the wolf?
The wolf just came in the door behind you,
Okay.
and Red would be off to your left. Because she was so busy laughing, she hadn't joined the fighting. Oh, no, she attacked somebody with her scimitar, didn't she? Who was it?
Attack me.
Okay, yeah, she's still at your left. That's where she was laying on the floor laughing, so that's where she would have come from, the way I picture it.
Does the wolf appear to be on their side?
At this point, you're not too sure. You'll just have to use the information that you have
Okay.
to make an educated guess, I think.
I think I'm not going to do that just now. I am going to cast invisibility on myself.
I think that sounds like a great idea. All right. You cast invisibility on yourself. It's Korth's turn.
It's concentration up to an hour. So I cast invisibility on myself and I step away from everybody a few steps and to where I can have a vantage point on everything and decide my next move.
Clever. Great. Korth?
I have a weird question.
Ask away.
Can I tie my bite in with my swing or no?
Tie your bite in with your swing. I'm not quite sure what you mean.
Can I swing and bite on the same turn or no? They're both considered an action, I'm assuming.
Each one is considered an attack, and at level 4, you would still have 1 attack.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna swing my rapier again
Okay.
on Granny, which is in front of me.
Mhm.
So, oh my god, I rolled a 4.
Let's see. What's your 2 hit bonus again?
3.
No, 7's not going to hit her. So, I guess that's not going to do a whole lot yet this trip. Helps if I mark the right people down. All right, we're going to have Red's turn. And Red sees the wolf comes in the door and she says, You've been nothing but trouble to me all along. And she's going to attack the wolf. She's not fond of the wolf. Okay, so our first attack. Oops, if I write down the wolf's first attack hits the wolf. Our second attack misses the wolf. And she's going to do 8 points of damage on the wolf. Okay, and then the wolf is next in the order, and the wolf's like, "It's about time I get to do something with you." It's like, "I've had about enough of your pestering and how he's harassing us out there." And he looks at the rest of you. "I told you she was bad." And he's going to. Oh yeah. No, okay. Midge moved. Midge is not within 5 feet of her anymore. Okay, so he doesn't get pack attack. But
Vaughn
he is.
Vaughn counts as an ally, and he was behind me.
He wouldn't have known where you went necessarily, although I think he could have read your mind. At any rate, he's going to. We'll just take it straight up for this round. He's going to attack red. Oh yeah. That one hit. How come I don't have reds? Okay. Then so he bites at red. Oh, she's got a roll strength. And she got knocked prone. So his second attack gets. Oh, his second attack's good too. Oh, never mind. Sorry about this. I wasn't quite as prepared as I had thought. Second attack is going to be a claw attack, and he does hit with that, and does 5 points of damage. So he just bites her and claws at her. He does a lot of damage to her. She's pretty ripped up by that. He does a lot of damage. He does 16 points worth of damage. I need to take a quick break here, guys.
What?
I'm sorry. But yeah, just a couple minutes.
Glad I'm invisible.
Auntie, what's Jaden's typing for me? Like not making you understand is that you're not supposed to swing a rapier because it's supposed to pierce something and block attack.
Yeah, you're right.
When you hit somebody, it'll bend, and then you use it as a swing to swing on. That's why you can push them.
Okay then. I will be right back also.
Yes, I'm back. Time for more murder and mayhem.
Excellent.
Or fun.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be hair.
Unless it has some sort of blanket on under its pack that hangs down.
No.
But I think it's hair. Llamas are pretty hairy.
Yeah. It does have a pack, but I mean you can't see. It won't focus right. The lighting's not good. But it's got straps that go across and that
I
go
see that.
either side, but it's not that's not part of the pack, that's hair.
But it's cute. Llamas are cute. So far, you guys are doing great. Oh, yeah. You're doing great. Oh, yes. Llama with belly hair. Good to know. Llamas have shaggy bellies. Tommy's not back. He's getting dinner. It's a 5-minute break. Doesn't he understand that a 5-minute break doesn't mean dinner? Oh man, I haven't even made dinner. My family's gonna die. Hold that up again, Anna. A little farther away from the thing would be better. Cool. I suppose if you tip it to show us the thing, they'll all fall out. That's quite awesome. No, it's gonna fall.
You get pretty far without them falling.
Mm-hmm.
Quite deep.
You can eat in 7 minutes, yeah, but this time's up, man.
It's a 5-minute break, not a 7-minute break.
I'm gonna be done here in half an hour.
I'm back.
We thought maybe you were died. And then someone said you're eating your dinner, and we're like, what? Not a dinner break. Oh well. We are back. Mike is back, isn't he? Yeah, he's back. So that puts us back at the top of the round. And it's Raylan's turn. Do your thing, dinner boy.
Okay. 16.
16 what? 16 pianos?
16 to hit. Sorry.
16 will not hit. So you're going to do your attack and it will not hit.
I'm doing
Wizard.
now it's 18. It's reckless attack. So
18 will hit.
for 10 points of damage again.
Nice. And that was, but that's only 5 because she's got resistance. Okay. Well, you're cutting away at her. Are you going to do anything else on your turn?
Other than raise my shield and try to block any of her attacks, no.
Okay. And Vaughn, what is Vaughn going to do?
Vaughn is going to continue to stay well out of the action and stay out of the way and not get bit or cut in half by a scimitar or any other miscellaneous painful things.
All right.
He can't even
Granny.
attack anyway, so he's pretty limited in what he can do.
Right. Granny is going to cast a spell. She's going to wave her hands around again. Her claws are not hands, they're big, nasty, hard, sharp claws. And she's going to almost scream this horrible sounding noise. And this black beam of energy just springs out actually towards the wolf. She knows that wolf. She wants nothing to do with it. And she's making a ray of enfeeblement attack on the wolf. It's a ranged spell attack. Okay, so she's got to roll. She does hit the wolf with that, and that means that from then on, the wolf is only going to deal half damage with its attacks that use strength until the spell ends. So she's gonna set that wolf back a little bit and not let it do quite so much damage. That is Granny's turn. And now we're back to Midge.
Okay. Is there an angle in this room from which I could safely line up both Red and Granny in a cone and not hit anybody else?
Red and Granny. Probably not. Because the cone's going to get wider. Unless you start at Granny and shoot at just the right angle from behind her towards Red. You know, but she's got 2 people on her already, so you're going to have to be... I think you can get behind and kind of aim through her towards Red. You might catch the wolf.
Okay. I'm going to try to do that and try to not hit the wolf.
Yeah, I think you will catch the wolf.
Oh,
Is your dice tray, what was that, Dogmite? Is that who made it?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with anything?
Oh, someone was asking in the chat.
Oh, I don't have that chat open. That's why. Yeah, that's a Dogmite hero sleeve from their Kickstarter that they're in the middle of shipping out.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
It was cool. I like it. The dice came with it too. Oh man, I forgot this was being transmitted. There might be people watching. Oh no. What do I do?
Quick, go invisible.
Why don't I have that spell here? I know I took that spell. Where is it? Oh, it's right there. It's a 15-foot cone originating from where I am in ascending order of their current hit points, from the least to the most.
Okay.
So I might not hit the wolf. I'm gonna try it.
How many hit points does it do? I mean, what's the deal? How far does it go?
6d10. It's a 15-foot cone. It does affect 6d10 worth of hit dice.
Oh, okay.
And
Roll your 6d10 then.
it is
Oh.
color spray, first level illusion. So I'm going to carefully line up because I'm still invisible. I'm going to carefully line up to cast the spell. Let me find some d10 here.
It will break your invisibility.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Come here, dices. Oh, look at that. If I pretend percentile dice or d10, I can roll them all in one hand. And each creature affected by the spell is blinded until the spell ends, which is 1 round.
Nice.
Oh. That would be 0 is 10, right? Okay.
Yeah.
2, 12, 19, 21, 22, 26 hit points worth of creatures.
Basically, Granny can absorb all of that.
All of it?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Unless you take the whole line.
Well, it starts
start
with
with the
whoever
low.
it starts with
Oh,
whoever has
okay.
hit points.
So red would be the lowest hit points of the lot. Oh, what was the number? Okay, 26. So red is blind.
Then you subtract hers from the total and then go to the next lowest. And if they're not equal or less than the remaining total, they're not affected.
Okay. So then red's actually the only one you affect. It wouldn't affect the wolf or Granny.
Okay. Oh no, Mr. Granny, that's not good. Anyways, yeah, this is like giant blast of blinding, sparkling, multicolored light just like shoots out of my hands as I suddenly appear over on the far side of Granny there.
You've managed to do quite a job on poor red. One point or another. All right. Then we go to Korth. He's had time to eat his dinner and figure out what he's going to do both.
All right. So red is now focusing the wolf. Right?
Yeah, but red is blind for a turn.
Cool. I'm just gonna go under the assumption that they can handle Granny because I can never hit her.
All right, remember if you are within melee range and you move without a disengage action, you will have an attack of opportunity, or she will hit you, or try to. You can disengage, but then you can't actually hit something else, but you can move away then and get ready.
So then I'll take this turn to disengage.
Okay, and then you want to move down closer to red?
No, I want to kind of separate myself evenly spaced from both of them.
All right, so we
Just
have on...
away from both of them.
I see you as sort of... I don't know exactly if you're facing Granny or you're facing red, but Granny is to your right, red's to your left, Raylan's next to Granny. Red's over there with the wolf.
Actually, you know what? I'll take an attack of opportunity.
You go ahead and let Raylan hit you? Or not
Yeah.
Raylan. Granny hit you if she
Granny,
can.
I haven't taken any damage. I'll be fine.
Okay.
Fine, guys.
Sure, why not? Kill them all. No. So you want to just go see if you can hit red.
No, I'm actually gonna step away from both of them, and then I'm
Okay.
gonna cast
Oh, okay.
something I should have done from the beginning: Witching Bolt.
Which bolt? Oh yeah. On which one?
Granny's looking almost dead.
No.
No?
Oh no, she's not even bloodied. Bloody is half.
Well, to Granny then. Oh boy.
Okay, Witch Bolt. See if I can help you sort that out.
Deal 1d12. Do I have to roll to make it hit, or is it automatically?
Just a second. I'm going to get that up. All right, let's see exactly what that does. It's a ranged attack. Ranged attack spell against it. That means you're going to have your roll plus your to hit, which I believe would be your charisma modifier plus your proficiency. So your charisma mod and your proficiency added to your roll.
It's +4 again.
And what did you roll?
Oh, sorry. Oh my, 2.
You're just not having any luck, are you?
No.
Oh, and as he stepped away, then she has to take her attack of opportunity.
All right.
I have to find the right window again. There we go. That was Witch Bolt, dummy. Oh, that's not good. She's going to hit you with that for sure. She's going to take those nasty claws at you, bud. That's not too bad. Oh, probably because I'm rolling the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Never mind. This could be horrible. Oh, no, that's not too bad. It's going to be a total of 12 points of damage. So she's going to give you a good claw as you step away. Rip you open a little bit, and as a consequence, I can see why your Witch Bolt's going to fail to hit back. Because that was nasty.
Yeah.
Of course. Red is blind. I don't know if she can actually hit anything when she's blind. I think she attacks at disadvantage. She's going to attack the wolf at disadvantage or not at all? Okay, I suppose I'll look it up. Sorry. Can't see automatically fails any ability check, requires sight. Attack rolls against it have advantage. Teachers, okay, yeah, disadvantage. Had that right. It's going to attack Red with disadvantage and miss. No, Red's going to attack with disadvantage and miss the wolf. Oh my gosh. And the wolf is going to attack Red. Okay, the wolf is just going to rip a big hole in Red. He takes the poor blind thing and just kind of rips her neck open so she bleeds. He does it as quickly and efficiently as possible, though, because he's not really an evil creature, but Red has to be taken out. And then he's going to bound over to the to Granny.
He took Red out completely.
Yes, he took Red out completely. She was down to 5 hit points. And he's going to take... Sorry, I keep looking at the wrong sheet again. Okay, so he's just going to run over to Granny at this point. Okay, Wolf, you've done your turn. We're back to Raylin.
Raylan will try to attack again. 21.
That will hit.
For 6 points of damage, so 3 points is
Right.
half. So
Okay, so then what's Vaughn's? I take it is not doing anything particularly.
now he's just hacking at the Grant or at Granny because she doesn't have any more cookies. So
Right, and all the gingerbread's got blood and nastiness on it now. It's not even fit to eat.
Vaughn flies out the door to keep watch and see if anybody else approaches.
Well, that's a good idea. Very good.
He can telepathically inform me if he sees someone else approaching.
Granny's going to attack the wolf. And she's just going to go after him with her horrible claws, and her horrible claws are going to miss the wolf, who's strong and fast and powerful. And besides, she rolled horribly. And Midge, it's your turn again.
Does it always get to be my turn before I'm ready?
Good question.
Oh, I asked in the chat, but I don't think you saw it. I was wondering if I would have had to get into melee range of Granny to cast that spell the way I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in melee range of Granny. What do I have prepared here? Of course I don't. I'm going to cast Magic Missile.
Okay. That always hits.
And I'm going to use a second level spell slot for it and hope I don't regret it. So that'll be 2d4 force damage to Granny.
There's 4 missiles. Each one will have 2d4.
What? Oh, 3 darts.
Or 3 darts, yeah.
And then one more dart for... Okay, no, I'll only use the first level spell slot. I didn't read that right. So I'll only use my first level spell slot for that. It's going to be 3 darts.
At 1d4, okay.
And that would be a 5, and a 3.
That's 13 points.
Once again, my plastic dice are more lucky than my metal dice.
Always happens.
Always, every time.
All right, we're down to Korth. Who's not in
Well, I still have the witching bolt up, right? Spells.
Did your witch bolt hit?
Yeah, it hit for like only 2.
Oh, that's right. So you can just maintain it and roll damage again.
Mm-hmm.
Super.
All right, so 8.
Nice. Oh, she's definitely bloodied and starting to she's starting to have a hard time a little bit here. Red's out of it. Goblins are out of it. Wolf Wolf's gonna try to chunk a chunk out of Granny. He can only do half damage. Oh, but he gets pack attack because there's more than one person there. Oh, I don't think that did him a lot of good. Attack tactics, that is. No, he doesn't actually hit. All right, Wolf, old buddy, you take a valiant effort, but you miss, and we get to go back to Raylin. Remember the cookies, Raylin?
The cookies are making him angry.
No more cookies! I have to cackle. I can't cackle.
It's
Guess
a
that's the bolt.
nat 20.
Ah, sweet. I'm gonna have you roll your damage, double it, and then add your modifier.
We're not gonna roll damage, add modifier, then double it. We're just gonna.
That's correct. You're gonna roll your damage, double it, and add your modifier.
So 14 points of damage. Do we double our modifier too, or is it just normal?
It's just normal. I'm kind of going with rules as written there.
So it would be 7 points of damage that she takes.
Oh, you guys are making a real dent on this whole obnoxious thing. Vaughn's still the sentry, right, Anna? Okay. Granny's just like,
Yeah, he'll just stay there.
says, "You'll never find the children if you kill me. I've hidden them well." And then she's going to attack the wolf again. And she's going to hit the wolf. Ooh, she's going to hit the wolf for max damage. She rolled 2 8s. Now the wolf's starting to show a little wear and tear now too. And he just growls back at her. "We'll kill you and we'll find the children." See, I can at least growl, even if I can't cackle. And let's see, Granny's turn is up. Midge, we're back to you.
Oh dear, it's back to my turn before I'm ready again. How'd that happen?
No idea.
I don't know either. Ooh, it could be good. All right, what do I... Ranged spell attack. Plus... I'm going to try it. I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb at Granny for thunder damage.
Okay. What does it have any effect on anybody besides her?
No.
Okay.
Ranged spell attack. Would an 18 hit, or do I use my inspiration?
18 will hit.
Okay. Then that would be 3d8 thunder damage. Locate my d8s here. Oh, come here. Come here. And that would be 18 points of thunder damage from my chromatic orb, which sort of looks lightning-ish as it shoots out from my hand, but it's like flashing and sparkling with so many colors you can't really quite tell. It's very colorful.
I was just awesome. Yes, you've done some serious damage to her now among a lot of you, and she's kind of getting down on her last legs here. So of course you're going to continue to hold your witch bolt. We've been informed if you're going to continue to do your witch bolt, you have to cackle like a witch. This is according to the chat. They're over there like, yes.
All right, fine then. Korth puts more emotion into this bolt than any other and goes,
Good job. Inspiration for Korth.
Yay! Wow, it got me a 1.
Cackling lizard man.
I got you a
I'm a
1 point of
wizard,
damage.
Yep, it's a nice, measly little 1. But it hits.
According to this, yes, it says, tell him his boss told him to cackle. And then he approves. Oh, jeez. Awesome. Too bad that only got you 1 point of damage. That's pretty funny.
Was Witch Bolt the one that increases in damage each round, or is that a different one?
I don't know of one that does that. Did you? Guess the wolf's not feeling too hot. His attack misses. He doesn't get anywhere with it.
Even with everybody there.
Even with advantage, he didn't do so well. So Raylin, we're getting close to the end. Let's find out who's going to finish this off.
Raylin, well, now since he's in a rage and everything, you can't really tell the wolf was the one that was kind of being mean to them, and he really likes animals, so now he's even angrier, and he'll bring with all of his might his sword down upon her head as quickly and as
do it
and like as powerful as he can.
Roll another 20. Finish her off.
20. Not a nat 20, just 20. So that hits.
All right, yeah, absolutely, that hits.
Oh, max damage though, another 10, but it's only 5 because it's resistant. So.
Alrighty, so Vaughn's outside doing the sentry, correct?
Correct.
Granny's going to, I don't know. She's going to turn on Raylin and give him another attack. Since that wolf seems to be missing her, she's a little less worried about him, and this Raylin's been hurting her pretty bad. Oh my gosh, well, she didn't hit him. I guess being hurt pretty bad doesn't help her ability to hit anything. And she's like bleeding, and her sword's bloody, and her arm's starting to feel a little weak, and it just really doesn't go much of anywhere. So Midge, we're back to you.
All right. I'm going to chuck another chromatic thunder orb at this old hag. And I'm going to use my advantage because that was not a good roll. And that would be 19 to hit.
All right. 19 will hit her.
And that is 12 thunder damage.
All right, well, tell me how you thunder Granny to death.
I fling this little 4-inch ball of sparkling, colorful lightnings, and it hits her in the shoulder where she's facing Raylin and the wolf and distracted by them, and just explodes and showers colorful sparks throughout the entire room, which might distract some other people if anybody is, watching too closely. And And lightning just like arcs over her shoulder, and she just and falls down and is dead. It's finally just too much for the old nasty thing.
And the wolf kind of growls, "Good job! She was a nasty old hag." Kind of shakes his head. Blood flies.
She was no fun at all.
But this was all
No.
for fun.
Well, I had fun, but she wasn't fun. Midge nods emphatically.
Raylan's like, you killed her. I was gonna kill her. And
It's
then
at this point I look at Raylan and I say, well, we can still eat her.
Raylan's like, I'm pretty sure she's not as tasty as the cookies were. Those cookies were delightful. So was the house.
There's a couple fat little goblins if you're feeling peckish.
I heard goblin meat tastes like what they eat.
Is there any cookies like at all around the house, like still intact?
There's parts of the house that are still clean enough to eat. And the wolf kind of, we can find those children. We know where they are. Are you gonna look around, search the house, look to see what there is?
Sure.
Raylan's gonna look around for fresh wall to eat.
All right. I don't think you even need to roll anything for that. You can find it easily enough.
And he starts sniffing there and like,
Midge is going to begin investigating the house.
And I'm gonna join Raylan in eating cookies.
And you probably don't care if they're bloody or not, if I know you.
Yeah.
Probably not too much, lizard.
So what'd you roll, Miss Investigation?
17.
Well, as you investigate, you don't find an awful lot. You find some kids' clothes. But one of the things that you find somewhere is a little paper bag folded up, and written on the front of it is beans. B-E-A, the N is backwards, and there's a Z on the end of it. And if you
Beans.
look in there, there's probably, I would say there's 5 nice bean seeds ready to plant.
Let's do it. I mean, I pocket them.
Do you tell anybody else you took the bean seeds?
I may later. Everybody else currently is busy eating walls.
you can hear in the background like, nice wall.
And the wolf is kind of like, you remember there's children?
As he says this, I'm taking a bite of both the goblin and wall, and I'm like, and well, we can join.
Raylan's like, do we have to right now? I want to eat.
Wolf, can your keen nose pick up any scent of the children?
I believe I know which direction to start. Let's come.
As I follow him, I grab a hunk of wall and carry it with me to eat delicately as we go.
Bring your walls.
Raylene starts chopping a huge, square piece off the wall with his scimitar. Actually, now his short sword, not a scimitar, because he doesn't want to eat witch along with the wall. So he's going to use his short sword to chop off part of the wall to take with him.
I have, as we leave, I have Vaughn fly overhead and keep watch.
Good plan.
He has some kind of buff to perception too, if it makes a difference.
Well, I think we're going to try to just finish this out here, basically. And, as you go, the wolf gets outside and starts sniffing, and kind of, you can see the wheels turn. He starts off in a, like if you'd gone away from the house in the opposite direction that you came in. And, after a period of time flying around forward and back, Vaughn comes flying up to you and starts croaking away or whatever noise magpies make. I'm not sure.
Some sort of corvish noise.
Yeah, kind of excitedly, and you get this picture in your mind of a group of children out working in a big garden and a direction to go.
Unseen them. This way, everyone.
So, I mean, the wolf offers to let you ride on his back.
Thank you kindly. This will be fun.
All three of us ride on his back now. Comfortable indeed. Why is
probably carry you.
Why is this ride not moving?
Well, once you all get aboard, I guess he just starts loping off towards where the children are. And you come to this clearing, and there's quite a large. Wee fun! And what color does the wolf turn?
So,
good question. he might notice later that he has some pink spots.
You in pink.
Midge likes pink and purple. So yes, you come to this place where there's quite a large and fairly neat garden that's being tended to by a bunch of reasonably well cared for children, actually. And you'll notice that all the vegetables are unusually large. But the children are very happy to see you come to rescue them. They're happy to go home. They've been outgrowing their clothes. They're tired of working out in the fields, although I'm sure it's probably very good for them. They want to go home and be lazy. Yes, three very strange strangers riding a wolf come loping in, and they're all like, "Yay!"
yes. How do they not know the giant lizard's not going to eat them? And also,
He's not. Well, he's only 5'2". He's not huge.
he also has teeth and claws. It doesn't matter if you're huge or not. A tiny lizard with teeth and claws is sometimes intimidating.
The witch must have been really nasty to them.
Well, I don't know, Midge. Do you cast disguise everybody so they don't look so scary?
I'm not that talented.
Oh.
I can disguise myself. I'm the least scary person.
Oh well, I'm sure you can figure it all out.
Yeah,
I know this has run long enough.
I'm pretty sure Midge is not necessarily the least scary person. She is, crazy puffy hair with multiple colors, and she turned the wolf's coat into polka dot pink.
Pink polka dots, man.
And I have a pink and white magpie.
You have to ask your magpie sometimes, how does it feel about having its feathers changed color?
I don't change its feathers color.
Yeah, right.
But the magpie doesn't know, won't hurt it.
I think he might be a little confused about what a magpie is supposed to look like.
Will he recognize another magpie if he sees it? He will once you turn it pink and purple.
Right?
All right, so basically, yeah, you rescued the kids and marched them back to town. And that's pretty much where we're going to quit for the night. Thank you, everybody that came to hang out with us. You guys are great.
Bye, everybody.
Everybody that watches this again later, I hope you enjoy it.
Tally ho, folks.
Guess on that note, goodbye.
Good night, everybody.